Hey guys, yeah. I want to talk to you about the three necessities of magic. Well, I think there's four. Oh, excuse me, I'm spitting on myself. I think there's four necessities, but I am reading, and it's probably going to be backwards, and I know you can't see it. It's called Earth Power by Scott Cunningham. When Dora gave it to me when we met earlier this month. Oops. Um, sorry. And in it talks about three necessities of spell work. And the first one it talks about is the need. And I'll read to you what it says, and then I'll give you my view on this. It said, the need is simple. You wake up one morning with a splitting headache you can't get rid of. Or you may find out you need $100 by the end of the month. A friend may be looking for a new love. In all cases, a need exists. However, need should not be confused with desire. Because it says desires are often passing. What one desires one morning may be pushed aside the next morning for something else. A desire is a whim. A need is something that is deeply felt. So say you need money to pay a bill. I myself am not one who does a lot of money spells. Sure, I need money to pay my bills, but I don't think that is the goddess. I can't speak. I don't, for me personally, and not anybody else, I speak for me alone. I don't feel that I should ask the goddess for money. Lots of times my money problems are overspending and not watching my budget. So I don't feel that it's the goddess's responsibility to provide me with the money to pay the bills when I had that money and it was foolishly spent. I'm not saying that I spend it at the mister with his Halloween fetish. His Halloween, I won't say it's a fetish because it's 24/7, 365 at my house. But anyway, so you need a new car, so you do a spell to bring that new car to you. Yes, that is a need. The second necessity in spell work is emotion. And the emotional connection you have kind of goes along with the need. And this is what it says. It says the emotion too is clear. You need a job, for instance, but if you're not emotionally involved in seeking the employment, it says then all the spells in the world won't bring, it to you. Yes. So you say you're doing a spell because you need a job. But if you're not actively out there trying to put the effort into doing this, then all them spells that you're doing to bring this job to you may not work because you're not putting the effort into it. Now, say somebody wants you to do a spell for them. Like, for instance, your friend wants you to do a love spell for her. I personally don't do love spells because, well, I have the love of my life and I don't need that kind of love. The only kind of love spells I do is the love, to bring love to me family-wise, joy, happiness, and love, of friendship into my life, that kind of spells. But your spell may not be quite as effective because you are not emotionally involved in that spell. Now, if you were doing it maybe for yourself, it probably would be more effective because you're emotionally involved in the spell work. Or say your friend needs money to pay a bill at the end of the week. Well, that's not something that you're emotionally involved in. And again, this is just my opinion. You know, if you disagree, that is 100% a-okay. Let's see. And the third one that the book says, knowledge is the third necessity. It says knowledge constitutes the body of magical lore. In other words, a spell or ritual or the basic theories behind them which allow you to make your own. And I don't quite understand that, but let's see it. Let's see where it goes into a little bit more detail. Blah 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 blah. It says with these three necessities, anything can be accomplished, limited only by our experience and time. The former is the key. Only by performing magic will you know whether or not it works. Magic is somewhat similar to an unknown footbridge. At first, you'll step lightly on it, testing, seeing if it is safe. After a while, you'll stride over it confidently, knowing where to step and what to avoid. It says many people approach magic with suspicion, ready to believe, but unable to do so without proof. And I lost you. Where did you go? There you are. I'm not editing this, so take what it is. Or take it as it is. So, you know your spell, know why you're doing your spell, know what you need to do your spell. But for me, where it says belief, is not always part of a necessity. For me personally, that's wrong, because I believe that you have to go into a spell believing that the results are going to happen. Because if you go into a spell thinking, oh, I'll do it anyway, even though I don't think it's going to work, then right there's one. You've already doomed yourself to failure with that spell because you don't believe that it's going to work. So I go into a mindset when I do perform spells, which are not very often because I don't always have a need to do a spell. But my belief is that you must have the need to do this for the spell. You put your emotion into the spell, and you know what you're doing the spell for, why you're doing it, but believe that the end result will happen. And for me, the spells that I have done, when I have all four of those necessities, 90%, or will say 90 to 95% of the time, that spell does work. Sorry, I'm being fidgety. I've just recently got off work and I'm still kind of hyped up. But anyway, I'd love to hear what you keep disappearing for some reason. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on these 3/4 necessities that you should have when performing spells and magic. But again, like I said, this is just my opinion, and if yours is different from that, a-okay. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you all later. Blessings. Bye.